Hello YouTube, Flashlight Enthusiast here. Innovation is everything. Without it, we won't see any new products, new ideas being implemented and tested by the general public. A few years ago, we wouldn't even think about that we could have a laser-focused beam inside a small flashlight without a gigantic reflector. And here we are, with LEPs being implemented and widely available for us flashlight enthusiasts. Today I'd like to present to you an innovation in LEP flashlights, where Weltool implemented a physical reflector rather than optics with an LEP module. Interesting idea, and I highly appreciate Weltool pushing the boundaries of what is expected and what is still in a phase of dreams. I got this flashlight directly from Neil's Gadget, so if you are interested, make sure to check out the link below this video. There is also a special coupon code for our community to make your purchase even more affordable and also support the channel. W7 comes in a standard attractive box with the flashlight picture as well as key stats. As usual with Weltool, the flashlight is well protected in transportation. Inside the box you will find a user manual, certificate of quality, one spare O-ring, and last but not least the USB to USB-C charging cable. The flashlight is provided with the battery from the factory, so make sure to unscrew the tail cap and remove the insulation film from the factory. One interesting thing is, as you can see, we've got two O-rings, however only one spare. The flashlight itself is built in highest quality. We've got excellent build and finish with this matte anodization, and all the edges are perfectly smooth and I have nothing really to criticize here. The clip is ultra stiff for my standards and is definitely attached in an excellent manner. It is however definitely way short, and you can also attach it here in this section to make it carry bezel up. There are some thick cooling fins as well as smooth head with slight bezel without any granulations, and down there is something I'd like to talk to you about. We've got an LEP model, and first time in the history we've got it in the reflector. So the beam should have a nice spill with bright focused LEP-like hotspot, and indeed it has. Nice anti-reflective greenish coating on the glass. Everything looks perfectly smooth without any dust in the reflector. Excellent work here. On the back we've got a single tail switch without any lanyard attachments, as it is not included in the set, so tail standing is not an option here. Unscrewing the tail cap will reveal a nice set of small threads, triangle-like, with good lubrication from the factory, and as you can see we've got the double O-ring, only one for replacement in the box, so the water resistance is great on this one. Here double spring, so excellent connectivity should be here. And we also have a high capacity battery from the factory, 5000 mAh battery, so 21700 cell with the USB-C charging port built in, 2 amps. It is quite fast charging and convenience for all of you who like the USB-C charging on board, without sacrificing the water resistance of the flashlight. My charging measurements you can see right now on the screen. Once you attach your USB-C charging source to the battery, you've got your red indicator meaning charging and the blue one when the charging has been finished. Down there is a spring, so no physical reverse polarity protection, so you can use your standard unprotected 21700 cells without any issue, although they are quite short. No problem. Weltool always gives a nickname for their models, and with W7 we've got the, which is quite interesting choice. Speaking of operations, we've got really simple user interface. We've got a forward clicky switch, which means the half press will go into the momentary and full press will turn the flashlight on. With that we've got only access to the main mode, however we've got two hidden modes, which is quite weird. So we've got the strobe mode and low mode hidden when you click or half press in a fast manner. First you've got the strobe mode, and when you half press there you've got access to your low mode, which is quite weird and absurd in my view. Who makes the user interface to access your low mode after the strobe mode? Come on, guys! You can now fully press it to lock the flashlight into the certain mode and full press to turn it off. There is no lockout in the UI, however, if you unscrew the tail cap slightly, the threads will do the work and now you are safe and secure in the transportation. Here are my Lumen measurements of the Weltool W7, quite in line with the specified output. When it comes to the performance of W7, I measured the main mode. Here I've measured around 641 lumens at start, and as you can see we've got precisely timed step down, so after 2 minutes we've got step down from over 597 lumens to around 373 lumens over the course of 20 seconds, with flashlight body achieving only 34 degrees Celsius. However, in my experience, the W7 also has a thermal limit, and when the flashlight achieves 49 or 50 degrees, the flashlight steps down again, which can be seen after 17 minutes and 57 seconds when the flashlight steps down to 218 lumen level. Then we've got a sustainable level of around 220 lumens with overall runtime of 2 hours and 54 minutes before turning off. We've got flat output regulation with some minor fluctuations, and the flashlight body stabilized at 43 degrees Celsius. Thermal limit is not the highest, however it does give the hope of higher sustainable output in colder environment. Still, for long-range illumination I would rather reset the output to have the 2-minute turbo. When it comes to beam profile and what Weltool achieved with this reflector is truly interesting. We've got a standard LEP in the center with this yellowish corona, which is unfortunately quite standard in Weltool flashlights, and I'm not a big fan of it. However, with this reflector you've got quite bright spill, something between a regular W3 Pro and a regular reflector-based flashlight, which I will show you in the Beamshots section. Unfortunately, due to the flashlight having only 700 lumens, the spill is definitely not the brightest, and if you take into account the efficiency of LEP and the step down after a couple of minutes, unfortunately this construction is still not yet practical in the sense of walking around and having good illumination in front of you. However, I highly appreciate the effort, and I'm quite confident that in a couple of generations of this flashlight we will have the desired effect, with bright spill and laser focused beam in the center, bright enough to fully benefit from this concept. Summing up, W7 from Weltool is definitely an interesting construction with innovation coming up with this reflector-based LEP. We've got an excellent build and finish, quite good driver with constant current and without any noise, and the range from this size of reflector is also great when it comes to pure throw. Having a high capacity battery and USB-C charging on board is definitely a convenience for many users, and simple user interface will not leave you wondering how to access various modes. However, speaking of which, I definitely would like to see a little bit different access to low mode rather than having it right behind the strobe. I feel that it is not yet the moment to have to open the champagne celebrating the supremacy of reflector-based LEP, but rather focus on development further solutions. In my view, the spill is not yet that bright to have it useful illumination in front of you, and with LEP being so focused, you still have the tunnel vision regardless of the spill. Nevertheless, I see the potential of this technology becoming widely spread across all LEPs, as it does give you the ability to see much more than in traditional LEP, moving more and more towards the hybrid flashlight. With that being said, at this moment I will still choose either reflector-based thrower or an standard LEP to be able to see more in my outdoor adventure. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to support the algorithm and not to miss any future videos that I release. If you have any questions or personal comments, please leave them below this video. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.